Hi, it's Brent from PathandTarot, and we're going to be doing another tarot unboxing, the Voyager Tarot by James Wanless for Fair Winds Publications, I believe. This is sort of another surprise for myself, similar to the last unboxing where I just found this going through Amazon looking for tarot decks, and this came up and really caught my attention. So here we are, got it impulsively, which I think is a good way to do things sometimes, of course. We're going to unbox it and go through it. A little under the weather, feeling kind of gross, which is actually not a bad thing. I'm going to take it as an opportunity to maybe change the format of this, do this unboxing a little bit more quickly, maybe more to the point. We're going to open up this package, talk about it a little bit, go through the regular things I like to talk about, and then I'll do a reading with just the major arcana cards and see what we can do. I'm not sure how the structure of this tarot card or tarot deck is. It could be different, comparable to other decks. Oops. So we're gonna have to just see what's in this and kind of just work with it. I don't know quite what's in this package yet, so we'll just have to see. I've got some resources just off camera here. I've got some water which I'll take real quick. Okay, so there'll be some links at the bottom of the description below for you to use to learn more about tarot and to gain access to this as a resource if you choose to. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases, so if you find this, I would check it out. I don't have an opinion yet, so you'll know at the end of the video. So let's get into this here. So this is the complete package. It was not shrink wrapped in any way. It just came as this, so it's just like a box, and there's something in this box. So let's take it out of the box. And so this, maybe you can see it. Sort of hard to angle this here with the camera. Voyager Tarot, James Wanless, PhD, a doctor. Fantastic. Artist is Ken Knutson with a K, Knutson, or maybe the K sound. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, I apologize. Knutson. Alright. This is really cool. Voyager Tarot really got some planetary imagery happening, which is great. So this is basically the package that is inside of this box here. So this looks like the guidebook. So here it is. This would be the guidebook that comes with it. Just a quick flip through. It looks like there's everything in the guidebook that one would need to use this as a tool for self-discovery. Fantastic. I will put that aside here because in the reading I may need to use it in order to maybe read the cards for you. So here is the tarot deck. So right away you get to see what the Fool looks like. Fool, child. Here, let's maybe see if I can get that better. There you go. What an interesting design. A lot of interesting symbols right on the right on the card. Wow, interesting. Okay, so I like to talk about shrink wrap. You may know that, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of a big deal because it can tell you about the condition of the cards when you open them. You know, how clean they are, how they feel. If you have cards that are not shrink wrapped that you get, they could be maybe they have some dust on them, maybe some card particles, you know, things like that. So it kind of knowing that allows you to treat the cards a certain way when you first get them. Maybe you may want to cleanse them in particular ways. There'll be a link for that in the description on how to cleanse your cards. Wipe them down, or you know, whatever you want. So in this case, this has shrink wrap on it. So I know that if I open these cards, they'll be clean, fairly clean to the touch, as much as I can assume. And you know, I could be ready to use these cards, you know, right away if that's the case. So let's open up the cards and feel them. Just get a feeling for them. So let's just make a quick incision. That's all I need. Pardon me. Open up the cards here. There we go. Just put that off to the side here. Ooh, interesting. So it looks like there's some sort of maybe residue on the side there. I don't know. So this is interesting. So these cards are probably quite thick because the deck itself is quite thick. So that's something you can notice right away. The backing design is pretty cool. Very, how do we say, a strong sense of infinity. I like the color blue. It's very nice. This is reflecting my light in the room. It's kind of neat. I can maybe angle it there right in the center. Yeah, it's a cool shot. Right on. Okay. Like a fractal design almost, with a deep sense of infinity with that fractal. Very cool. Very cool. So the very thick deck already. So the cardstock is quite thick. Very different than the cardstock of my other cards. I'll just use my make playing cards as an example. Ooh, Spirit. Interesting. So this is very, very thick in comparison to the make playing cards. Probably twice as thick, actually. Maybe here, I'll just take two cards and sort of just push them together. Maybe sort of get an estimate, maybe. Well, no, maybe that's too thick, but I don't know if can I even tell? Like just squeezing it like this? I don't know. That's kind of a strange way to do it, but it feels like the make playing cards are thinner than what this card is, so it's fairly thick, and as a result, your card stack will be quite tall. So you need to have big hands, I guess, maybe, or hold the cards in different ways. My hands aren't super big, so you know, it depends on your physiology. But yeah, this is quite a big deck, which is kind of cool because the images will be quite big as well too. That'll be interesting as we look at it. But before we actually start to look at a few cards, we'll just try to give you some sort of reference point of size. So here's just a bicycle playing card for reference, because you should have a frame of reference for the bicycle playing card, like a regular playing card. Look how big it is in comparison. So here's the make playing card. This is like default tarot size as far as make playing card is concerned. Here's the tarot card, here's the bicycle card. So quite large. It's a very big card. So let's just grab a ruler here and just do more of an exact measurement. So this is like just about 8.5 centimeters wide. It's about 12.5 centimeters tall. Yeah, that's quite big. And then the make playing card is about 7 centimeters wide and 12 centimeters tall. So they're almost the same height, but there's definitely more width, as you can see. So let's just place the cards right on top of each other like this, and you'll get a sense of really how big this card actually is. It's quite large. So we can even do this and put this right into it, so you actually see the size there. How about that? Pretty crazy, right? Big cards. It's good to have a mixture of both big and small cards, I think, in your tarot arsenal, repertoire, whatever you want to call it. Because size can dictate how you use the cards in a way. For me, the bigger cards, I have to handle them a certain way compared to smaller cards. Got some water here. All right, so that covers like the physical aspects of the card. I really like to consider how the cards feel. So this has more like a very plasticky, smooth finish. Very much unlike the playing cards where it's almost got some grooves on it. I'm not even sure how to describe it. Almost like a matting. So this is a very different style of cardstock than other tarot decks. So which is really cool. It's good to have different textures of cards because the different textures will maybe change how you feel about it. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not an expert on cardstock, but these are the things that I pick up on as I'm doing these unboxings. So there we go. I think it's time to maybe get into the cards a bit and just let's look at the major arcana cards. I won't show you all the cards. I'm just going to basically take out all the major arcana cards right here with you on camera, and then we'll do the reading. We'll read the cards and see what we can get as a fortune. So as I'm doing this, think to yourself, what do you want to know from these cards? Maybe something that you're missing in life, something you want to know more about, what to do next, where you are, where you're going. Maybe ask about the past or the future. I don't know. So here we go. That's all the major arcana cards. And of course, for copyright reasons, I can't show you all the cards. So I will just put the cards right off to the side like that. Stack it up maybe. Yeah, there you go. So at least you saw the Fool Child right there. That's kind of cool. So it's almost like if we just maybe talk about the art style, because I had a chance to look through this with you. I can tell you the art style is somewhat collage-like. Taking pre-existing images and just putting them all together, very much like a scrapbook style collage. This is pretty cool. I learned about this style in university. In fact, I actually did an art project with a collage style in university, so it's actually quite fun if you've ever had a chance to do that yourself. It's actually quite exciting to cut things out of magazines and arrange them in different ways that they weren't intended to create something new and different. So I think that's what the art style of this tarot deck is really based on. So Ken Knutson, very cool. Very interesting choice of art style. And I think it's just a very simple border style. Sorry, I just had to keep the card in camera. Very simple style, just a color, your number, your name of the card, very straightforward, and then all the details kept really central on the card itself. So a very simplistic design, really, and that's all you need. I think sometimes the less you have on a card, the better, the more focus you can put onto the central part of the card, which is your image, which we have here. So that's my interpretation of what the image style is, I think. So let's get into it and maybe mix up these cards here, do a reading, and you're on your way. You can use some of the links below to learn more about tarot cards. Pick up this deck on Amazon if you want. There'll be some other links to give you some tarot resources, allow you to start your personal journey and your own self-development. Because really tarot is a tool for developing yourself, self-enlightenment. not just a tool for fortune telling, although it does do that. It's really a way to look into yourself. Maybe fix the things that need to be fixing, help overcome things that you have gone through in life. So that should be a good mix. I want to do just a quick shuffle. Oops. Billy Willy the cards. Alright. Okay. So that's mixed up. I think I could probably get away with doing a... Yeah, I can do that. It's difficult to riffle shuffle with a few cards. 21 cards. That should do the trick. That should be enough shuffling, and then I'll just do a few overhands here. There'll be a link to how to shuffle your cards and cleanse your cards in the description below, so check that out. Oops. So I'll do that, cut the deck. I will then... Yep, that feels good. Okay, so there we go. So how are we going to do this reading? Maybe I'll just keep that out of... So I think what I'll do is I'll just take the card off the top like that. Move it this way. Another card off the top like this. Yeah, that makes sense. Something similar to the last unboxing slash reading. There we go, I'll do this. And this. And flip one right over the top. So we've got 5 cards. That's a good amount of cards to read with. Ooh, wow. Interesting. So it seems like there's a renaming of the cards. Oops, I moved the camera there. There's a renaming of the cards happening here with this deck. So that's kind of interesting to note. If you get this deck and play with it, you'll have to refamiliarize yourself with the names of each of the cards. Although if you've memorized the typical structure of the major arcana, you should be fine. I don't think this is really too much of a departure from common knowledge. But if you're familiar with using the Aleister Crowley's Toth deck, then a similar change has occurred here. It just really the same symbolic elements are present for the cards, but they're just renamed to kind of change how you would interpret the cards here. So this is pretty cool. So balance, here we got balance. Balance would be, well, let's use the guidebook here to make sure we're right on track. Balance. Well, I mean, to me that would represent justice. So justice is in position 8 for this deck. It could be in position 11 for other decks. So it's cool, balance. This is interesting because I didn't ask a question per se, although I did kind of in the back of my mind. I just didn't vocalize it here in the reading. So for me, my question was sort of a silent, give me a good reading, like show me how to do a good reading. Balance is maybe a nice thing to have come up here, because I'm actually trying to balance having to do this video here. So I'm a little under the weather, and I want to go through it quickly as possible. And also, it's nice because it gives me an opportunity to change the format of this video style. I like to go maybe more in depth, but in this case, I want to do it more quickly. So I'm having to balance between the two. That's kind of interesting. The Magician, cool. Maybe that's me. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Are you the magician watching? I don't know. Are you the seeker of knowledge? The individual who is attempting to master all of the elements and become talented? It's pretty cool. And then we've got the Priestess. We've got the first, a clear order, 1 and then 2. So that's neat to see when you see that in your cards. It can sort of mean something. And then I've got the Hierophant here. So the Hierophant, it seems like like the first 10 cards have remained the same, which is nice. So, you could tap into your previous knowledge of the cards to work with them here. And it seems like the only change is balance here, at least for the first 9, or 10. 10 would be fortune here, but we're not seeing it in the spread, so the Hierophant. So this is kind of cool. Off to the, in between the magician, the priest, these sort of, I guess you could say stereotypical or archetypal male and female energies, right? To be completely balanced, you have to be able to balance both your male and female, male and female energies. If you're a man, a male, you have to, be able to harness and channel your female energies. If you're female, you have to do the opposite. So you're always trying to balance both energy sets, male and female, to become a holistic person. That's sort of maybe what this is saying here, at least what I'm getting out of the cards at the moment. So that's kind of cool. That's an interesting message. I don't know if that means anything to you watching the video here. I'm just going to have some water. But I hope you asked your question in your mind, or said it out loud to see what these cards have said to you. But time space here, we've got that right in the center. So we haven't talked about that yet. Let's get into that. Time space. So that is 20. So that would be in the position of judgment. Or Aeon, if we were to then refer to the Crowley deck, right? The changes the Thoth deck has compared to the Waite-Smith style of the Major Arcana, or the Tarot de Marseille, or other older style decks. They have that same Major Arcana format. Let's just do a quick rejudge. Well, yeah, if we just kind of use this as judgment time space, but that's an interesting way to rename the card, and even the symbols built right into it. Let's look at. Pardon me. Let me just look at the symbols here, because this is crazy. It's almost like there's some sort of spaceship happening, like right here. And then you've got a person sitting right there looking at it, almost like it's a painting. Crazy. But time, space, judgment. So new life from death, basically. But time-space, it's almost like the fabric of space-time, right? Science, cosmology and all that. Interesting topics. The fabric of the universe, almost. So maybe this is sort of acting as the fabric of all of these cards, where all of these cards are coming from. Yeah, very interesting. Like it's the note is like talking about redirection of your karma, understanding the flow of karma, and that's kind of interesting because space-time, or the fabric of the universe is sort of like this, you could think of it like being in a body of water, and things are flowing through it. So these cards are all sort of flowing through this space-time. And then we've got, didn't talk too much about the Hierophant just yet, but we will. Let's, like a life of mastery. So in a way, the magician kind of evolves through its phases to get to the Hierophant. To become a master of knowledge in a way, and it looks like the symbols here really do represent that. Very cool. The magician. Priestess. Balance. The light from my ceiling is reflecting onto it. See if I can maybe catch it. No. Anyways. So that was kind of interesting reading. Maybe a little bit scattered, because there's the renaming of the cards is sort of unexpected, so you know it can kind of throw you off a bit. But I think that sort of made sense. I think I was a part of this reading. In like this video itself is actually, I think, getting caught in this reading, so I think that's kind of cool. Tarot cards are quite uncanny like that. They can capture, you know, everything in strange ways. So I hope that that was maybe revealing for you, maybe helped answer some questions, kind of showed you a new tarot deck to work with here, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm really excited to learn this deck a lot more, learn about the subtle changes that I think are happening in this deck, and you know, use it for my own personal development as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you for watching. Use some of the links that I have in the description there to learn more about tarot and developing yourself personally and becoming more enlightened. So thank you for watching, and stay safe out there. Okay, bye.